Mama, that show coming on, you like?
I don't like that bullshit.
He already started.
I don't know why the hell you telling me.
Dennis Sperling. That show, mama, you know what I'm talking about.
Fuck him.
Mama, that go, that man, he just talk a lot of shit. He be up late at night, tuning into all his hits. See my grandmama hate him, and my mama and my TD getting mad, posting comments like we watching real TV. Mama, that go, that man, yelling, fuck that nigga, what? He successful attorney on the two, be turning up. We be turning up, we turning up, yeah. We be turning up, yeah, turning up. It's that real spit, like some barbershop talk, except it's real black men that be walking the fucking walk. Intelligent, well versed, sometimes we might curse, well we cuss a lot, just like these lovely ladies fuss a lot. Switch it up, tell these pussy niggas gotta pick it up. Move along, me and you ain't brothers, not the womb I'm on. Cross-examination on a nigga in the chat room. All the trolls with the disrespect, we in the back room. Huffing and you sucking up the air like a vacuum. Daddy disappeared, told you baby I'll be back soon. I just represent us cause the system can't afford it. I'm your homie, I'm your brother, sometimes a court appointed. Anointed, know you hate it, but I give you fair chosen. Just like Jesus in the house of God, kicking chairs over. Suit and tie soldiers, give the cold shoulder. The hate and you talking, not a fucking stain on me. Watch your dame, homie, I got that change on me. Black rich, I don't give a shit, bet your dame want me. Mama, that go, that man, he just talk a lot of shit. He be up late at night, tuning into all his hits. See my grandmama hate him.
That's my motherfucking business. You ain't got a goddamn thing to do with it.
And my mama and my TD getting mad, posting comments like we watching real TV. Mama, that go, that man, he talk a lot of shit. He be up late at night, tuning into all his hits. See my grandmama hate him, and my mama and my TD getting mad, posting comments like we watching real TV. Mama, that go, that man. Mama, that go, that man. Mama, that go, that man. Yeah. Mama, that go, that man.
Welcome to the broadcast. What's happening, everybody? This is Uncle D, also known as the Blizzard King. For you guys who don't know, man, I'm an attorney. I am a podcaster. And, I've turned into a bit of a social scientist here. A little bit more about me that you guys may not know is that I went to school at Grambling State University, which is in North Louisiana. And I majored in biology, graduating in 1997. I immediately enrolled in the Southern University Law Center, which is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I was also accepted to attend Texas Southern University. I took 3 years. I graduated with my first law degree, and I immediately was accepted and enrolled in the Tulane University, where I got a master's degree in environmental and energy-related law. Now, something else you all probably don't know about me is that in studying an environmental and energy related law, you learn a lot about policy, and you also learn a lot about, excuse me, I got a little wanted yet unwanted guest who likes to harass me as soon as I began talking to folks. So what's up? This is Buddy. This is my one of the adopted cats that I have here. You know, it's he definitely has a lot of input on what we do here. Buddy, I'm talking to the people, man. Anyway, but anyway, we'll let Buddy hang out for a little while till he gets tired. But after I graduated from Tulane, I worked practicing law for about 10 years. And I ended up in Houston, Texas. And what you all may or may not know is that Houston has some great colleges. And one of the colleges that they have is Texas Southern University. And so while at Texas Southern University, I majored, I studied for a master's degree in biology because my undergraduate degree was in biology. And then in addition to the undergraduate degree in biology and the master's degree, well, let me say it like this. I was working towards the master's degree and I finished the program so quick that I decided to work on a PhD in environmental molecular toxicology and environmental planning, which put me back into the planning. And so I learned a lot about, hold on 1 minute, hold on, this cat. Sorry, the cat. I can't work with people. I can't work with everybody. But so anyway, at one time I was working on a master's degree and 2 PhDs at one time. And so you know, look at him, man. Look at him. Look at this cat, man. Come and say hi to everybody, by the way. Come on over here and say hi. You guys, if you guys don't know, this is my handsome son, Dennis Amon Ross Sperling. And that's Buddy. You guys just met Buddy. Buddy is distracting people, man. But oh, look, I wanna. So everybody, a lot of people, and please, point of personal preference. So don't hold him like that. Be careful with him. So come back down here so they can see you, man. And we got a long show, but I want to definitely. So here, come on up in here a little bit more. Let me look at this cat. Let him go. So my son is 16. And a comrade of mine, Brian Ponder, he's a lawyer also, and he has challenged my son to bench press 225 pounds 5 times. And if you guys have been following my social media page, he's been able to get it 4 times solidly. The first attempt, he got it and came back down. And then most recently, he almost got it up all the way. He had that right side up and that left side gave in on him. But more importantly, my boy just took the SAT for the first time. Now he's been taking classes. He's been taking classes since July. He got pretty good. He got all the way up in near the 1200 range. But we're going to take it at least 2 more times to try to get him in the 1450 range. You've been working hard, right? Been working hard lifting weights. Use your words. Yeah. Speak up now, son. Come on now. Yes. Don't embarrass me. Come on, you got to speak up. And the other thing, you also working hard on your SAT. Tell them a little bit about what you have to do to study for the SAT and since July. Tell them what you do.
I do algebra practice.
What do you do every day, Monday through Thursday, son? What do you do every day? What do you do every day, Monday through Thursday, son, after school?
Go
Come.
to the SAT.
There we go. Now, what do you do? What is that? Tell them what you do there.
I take algebra practice and also I do geometry practice and reading and writing.
So just like lifting weights, are we just leaving it to chance that you're gonna get this 1450 on the SAT? What are we doing? We're working what?
Hard.
We're working hard. Now, how long you been lifting weights?
Since 5 years.
How old are you now?
16.
He's 16, so he's been lifting weights since he's 11. So what were you doing there? You were working what? Working what?
Hard.
Is it easy?
No.
Do you expect somebody to come in there and lift the weights for you?
No.
Do you expect somebody to come in there and take the SAT for you? You go to jail for that. Do you expect somebody to do that?
No.
You got to do it, right?
Yes.
So even with your other accomplishments, you also have a a black belt in Shotokan. How long you been taking Shotokan?
Since 2012, 2013.
Since 2013. So you've been taking Shotokan for 10 years and you 16. So you've been taking it since you were 6 years old. And you also been taking another form of martial arts. And you have 2 black belts in that. You also been taking jiu-jitsu. Has anybody given you any of these belts that you've attained? No. So what are we learning about hard work?
Not everyone can do it.
Not everyone wants to do it. But the most important thing, what does hard work do?
Pay off.
Now, what if somebody told you that the white man is keeping them from getting a black belt in Shotokan? What would you say about that?
It's not true.
The white man is not holding them back. Is the white man holding you back from benching 225 pounds 5 times?
No.
You see, so what I'm going to talk about to everybody here in the audience tonight is taking your destiny into your own hands, because you may not have been exposed to this, but I don't let you. For you guys who haven't figured it out, I'm the type of person, I'm the type of leader that will drag you to the finish line kicking and screaming. You are going to finish. You're going to accomplish what you said. That's the type of father I am. That's the type of person. I kick my own self in the butt. You understand what I'm talking about, fellas? So this is what I'm instilling in my sons. This is what I'm pushing. Now, he's 16 years old and he can bench press 225 pounds 5 times almost. And he's 180 pounds. That's stronger than most of these grown men out here can't bench press 225 pounds. Most of them can't bench press 135 pounds. And most of these folks didn't get 1,200 or something on the SAT, but they also didn't work at it because they didn't make it a priority. Whatever you work at and make a priority, you'll get it. And we've taken little steps. When you was 10 years old, did I just drop 225 on your chest? Lift that up. Did I do that to you at 11 years old? No. You worked your way up, started up doing push-ups. It's a progress. It takes patience. But anyway, son, I appreciate the time. I know you're busy, but you go ahead and do what you do. And thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you, sir. Anyway, like I said, so shout out to my big boy. Get that cat up. We'll put that cat outside, let him run around in the backyard. So my whole point is this, you got to take your destiny in your own hands. And that's what I want to talk about right now. And I think this is going to be probably one of the most important conversations I've had. I know y'all love it when I talk stuff about these lovely ladies, fellas, but at some point we got to focus on ourselves and become who we're supposed to be. Okay. Now let me say this, and I'm going to put this in the audience and I want y'all to hear me. But before I do, shout out to Urban Eagle. Thank you so much. And thank you, Barry Little, for those super chats. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And also big shout out to my man Will, Eddie Johnson Jr., my man Peter Walsh. Thank you so much, folks. I appreciate y'all. Cletus Carter, served since July 1990. Thank you guys so much. Y'all really enjoyed those broadcasts from last night, man, and that's what's up. But here's the thing, and I want to put this up because this is important. And of course, my Cash App is up there. I like the Cash App because I don't have to share the money with Google/YouTube. YouTube takes 1/3 of everything, 30% everything you get. But if it's more convenient for you to do the super chat, that's fine. Go over to the Blizzard King page, and we'll definitely appreciate all your contributions. It just shows that you appreciate what I'm doing. It shows that you're paying for my time. It's a way of showing your respect and appreciation. You're not giving me anything, because I'm definitely giving to you here. I'm teaching you, I'm giving you my time, and I'm giving you some of the same things that I'm teaching my sons. The measuring stick that I use when I talk to you all is, would I give my sons the same advice? If I wouldn't do it, then I'm not going to give it to you. You see, and that's the barometer by which I test myself. And so the same things I'm instilling in my boys is what I'm giving y'all. And I put this out there because we may not call it karma in Christianity, but what we do call it is, the inevitable law of commerce. What goes around comes back around. And so I'm going to put good vibes and positivity out there. And then I think this is the manly thing that we should do. Okay. Now I'm going to step on some toes tonight. I'm going to let you know that. It's a lot of people with a victim mentality in here. Somebody type victim mentality. Somebody type victim mentality in the chat room. Somebody type victimhood is profitable in the chat room. Go ahead and do that. Type victim mentality in the chat room. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of the screen because I want everybody to see. Any black person that thinks the destiny of black people is determined by what white people give us or allow us to do is an impediment to black progress. Let me say that again. Any black person that thinks the destiny of black people is determined by what white people give us or what they allow us to do is an impediment to black progress. Let that sink in. See, black success was at an all-time high when white people gave us nothing. Fresh out of slavery, doing Reconstruction, for the 100 years after slavery till about 1965, we were the most married group of people in America. We had our own churches. We had our own businesses. We had our own communities. We had our own economic ecosystem. We had our own universities and high schools. Our children could read. We had our own hospitals, bus lines, restaurants, nail shops, beauty salons, movie theaters. And so my question to you, brothers, if white people weren't giving us anything at that time, and now we get all the handouts that we can think of, yet people say that the white folks are holding us back, when back then they were dealing with segregation, Jim Crow. The law in the books was that there with Plessy versus Ferguson, there was no right that a black man had that a white man had to abide by. This was on the books. The Supreme Court had ruled on that until Brown versus the Board of Education showed up in the 1950s. A white man could literally run up to your house, take your woman out, especially if you live down south, and there was nothing you can do about it. Not only would they not let us in their schools, we better not show up at the schools. And we had our own universities. Look how successful black people were in New York back at the turn of the century before they were giving us anything. So how is it now? And here's the thing, they were purposely in our way. They got rid of chattel slavery and implemented the chain gangs. The Negro loitering laws. They could pick you up for walking on the street or standing in the same place. You doing 5 years for loitering? The anti-loitering law, you kidding me? Yet doing all of that, you couldn't get a job working for you. You couldn't go to their schools. You couldn't live in their neighborhoods. They didn't even want you drinking out their water faucets. Yet and still, black success was at an all-time high when white people gave us nothing. In fact, they were purposely in our way. So my question is, what happened? What happened? Somebody type, what happened in the chat room? What happened? Well, I'm going to say this. There was a convergence of things. There's a certain political party that socialized us into being uncompetitive and settling for crumbs. Instead of relying on hard work and group cooperation, we sat back and waited for the government to throw us some crumbs. They sold us a leftist ideology of black victimhood and convinced us that we were entitled to have our basic needs met by the government subsidies. The government became master. Think about this. Picture this. 100 years after we freed ourselves from slavery, because let me tell you something. White folks didn't free us. There was 200,000 black men that volunteered to fight for the Union Army to help turn the tide of the Civil War. Black folks freed us. Black men freed us. And before that, there was the Florida problem. Somebody typed the Florida problem in the chat room. It was going to come one way or the other, because the Bloods down in Florida wasn't having no parts of slavery. Black folks, they wasn't just running to Canada and the North, they was running to Florida and Mexico. And when they would run to Florida, they would come back over and raid the properties in South Carolina and Georgia and free more slaves. This was a problem. It was going to happen. Black people were going to be free. We ran them out of the Caribbean. That's why those Caribbean slave owners ended up in South Carolina. Moved everything. We got to get out of here. These Negroes are going crazy. It was going to happen. The question was it going to be orderly or not? The expansion of slavery across the rest of the territories, like, we got to end this. We can't keep bringing all these black folks over. It's more of them than us. We ain't going to have a country. So it was going to end. The Civil War just put a bow on it and ended in a more orderly fashion. Nevertheless, we gave up those masters, had prosperity for 100 years, and then accepted the new master of the government. The government gave us our basic needs, just like master gave us our basic needs. We was the victim of, how did you go from having your own universities, towns, neighborhoods, churches, to being victims again? How did this happen? How did they convince us to focus on racism and white supremacy instead of self-reliance, determination, grit, toughness, group reliance, and cooperation? How did that happen? How did they convince us that, oh no, you don't want to push your children to excellence? Oh no. Oh, you don't want to discipline your children? There was a time children never questioned what their parents told them to do. And now kids get all these options. That party that you all keep voting for, those are the ones that convince you to do that. Now, some of y'all have said, well, that's not just politics. I get it. It's a confluence of things. Somebody typed that. It's a confluence of different things. Y'all say, well, the dominant society worked hard at destroying everything we built without them. Okay, we'll address that, because I'm knocking down all the excuses tonight. When you finish listening to this broadcast, you're going to understand that your destiny is in your own hands, and I'm not trying to hear nothing you trying to say. They destroyed everything. What we going to start with? Well, hell, they irritated the communities that we built with drugs. Good point. They flooded it with cocaine. There's documentation that shows that the CIA worked with these dudes down in Colombia and to buy guns so that they can, get the guns. Y'all can have the cocaine, give it to the darkies, give it to the black people. And we'll take these guns over to Iran and we'll help. We get that. The problem with that argument, with folks saying that the CIA, the government, or anybody flooded the black neighborhood with guns, is that white folks didn't hold pistols to black men and women's heads and force them to sell drugs on the corners and out of crack houses and rock houses. These weren't government agents doing this. This was your mama and your grandmama and your uncle that just got out of prison and your big brother. That's who did it. We committed that atrocity against ourselves because we sold out. Somebody type, we sold out. We sold out. We put profit before our people. So we got to hold that L. We sold out. I know I was there. I know I was there. You cannot tell me what happened. The drug dealers knew exactly what they were doing. Some of their mothers were on cocaine, and they saw what it did to them and their family. Some of them themselves was smoking drugs. We sold out. Let me give you an example. If somebody propositions you to sell poison to your children, and you do that, that's not their fault. That's your fault. Those outsiders have no obligation to you and your children to protect you. You do. It's no different than if your wife cheats on you and you want to come down on the man that you caught her cheating with. He ain't had no obligation to be loyal to you. That's your wife. She's the one that broke her vow. That's the game, baby. And the game doesn't change no matter what arena you in. Why would you expect someone who has no obligation to you to do what's in your best interest? Think about that. We sold out. You still listen to the music from that era. You still uplift those people. Somebody type Rick Ross in the chat room. Somebody type Eazy-E in the chat room. Somebody type Snoop Dogg in the chat room. That's vintage gangster rap, drug selling rap. It's genocide rap. Promoting that behavior. We sold out. We enjoyed it. Y'all got your rims and your Gucci purses, ladies, because there was some women right there with them. We're not just going to blame it on the dudes. It was some mamas who knew what their sons were doing, and they waited for them to come back and bring the money to the house. And they enjoyed it. So we sold out. So stop blaming the white man and any other man in the government for flooding the black community with dope. We distributed it for them. We could have said no, like the Italians did. We don't sell that to our own kind, but we didn't. So we're going to take that L. You know what else they say? That's that we getting them, right? Y'all uncomfortable yet? Huh? Let me know when you're uncomfortable. The victim mentality is not going to be able to exist, not here. We're going to get rid of that today. Let me know. If it's too much for your ears, go find somebody else to talk. Somebody might be talking about Tyrese Givens and his girlfriend or something like that. Y'all go over there. This is for adults and grown men. You know what else you say? You say, well, they flooded the zone with immigrants. They gave them all our land and opportunities. They gave them all our freebies. Who did? Oh, you mean the politicians did? Oh, the government did. Oh, the same party that you voted for opened the floodgates for foreigners to come in and replace you. The same party you voted for, that you've been voting for 50 years. Whose fault is that? If you see a fool, bump his head. Black folks have been the fool for this particular party for years now. So why are you getting mad if they keep bumping your head against the wall? You must like it. You keep voting for them. So whose fault is that immigrants are flooding the community because this government or these people that we elect are allowing them in? That's your fault too. It's your fault. We are talking about your destiny is in your own hands. If you're going to be a fool, then you're going to end up on the path of destruction. What else do y'all say? Are we hitting them fast? Are y'all mad yet? Somebody type big mad in the chat room. Somebody type big mad in the chat room. Some of y'all said, well, the government. Back to the government, we had families and communities. And then they filled our women's head with feminism and misandry. You know y'all say that. That's what we say here on these YouTube streets, right? Feminism did it. Misandry. If it ain't the immigrants and drugs and, the social programs, well, feminism did it. Basically what you said, what happened in 1964 is what happened. Lyndon Johnson and the welfare state is what happened. What do we talk about? Well, that's what happened to our progress. Okay, let's deal with that. I get it. There's a direct line that leads back to the formation of great societies and what happened to the Black community. We accepted welfare, affirmative action. We got too comfortable for asking for handouts. Hell, we expect handouts. We stopped trying to excel. We became dependent on handouts. That's why y'all vote for them Democrats. They always promise you freebies. Let me tell you a secret. The freebies don't really go to Black men. You know who they go to? They go to Black women. And Black women have been steering us to vote for Democrats because they receive those benefits. Men don't get anything from that. Go tell your mama you voted for, or your grandma you voted for Donald Trump the last election. Go see what happened to you. You bet not. There was a video circulating around the internet. This boy said, I voted for Donald Trump. Boy, damn, they got cussed out. Because Black women benefit from those freebies. Black men don't. You ain't getting welfare, brother. Are you getting affirmative action? No. You can better get an unemployment check. So whose fault is that, brothers, for following the lead of the women? Whose fault is that, Black man, for following the lead of women? You better go ahead and whip your toxic masculinity card out and do what's in your own best interest. Vote your own interest. That's how we change that. Some of y'all also say, well, the Black leaders helped do it. The Black leaders, all the good Black leaders are dead. Y'all hated Malcolm X when he was alive. Y'all called him a troublemaker. Y'all hated Martin Luther King. He died one of the most hated men in America. Look at the polls. So now you blaming the modern day Black leaders. Look, let me tell you something. We as Black Americans, as foundational Black Americans, we're the most powerful group, most influential group of Africans on this planet. Our vote can turn elections. Our money helps uplift this economy. Our swag helps set world trends. We just need to capitalize as a collective on that. That's a weak argument. I don't accept that one. Now, some of y'all have said, well, integration, right? Somebody type desegregation. Let me explain what desegregation was, because I want you to understand. Somebody write separate and equal. Somebody type separate and equal. Separate and equal was really separate but unequal. We wanted the desegregation so that we wouldn't be separate, when we should have been focusing on the equal. In other words, you know what? You can have your water fountains and schools and whatnot. We want our schools and stuff over here, okay? We just want equal funding. But you know how you people are. You low self-esteem Black folks are. You know how you are. You look forward to integration. You like the illusion of acceptance, freedom of choice. That's what happened. See, before desegregation, the laws force you to be a unit above all. Hell, it'll take a catastrophe or some sort of outside force to get Black people together again on the same page. Y'all don't even like each other. Whose fault is that you don't like yourself? I get it. Desegregation ended it all. Because Black folks wanted what white folks had to offer and immediately deemed what Black folks had not good enough. You had your own bus lines, your own restaurants, your own hotels, your own schools, your own universities, your own neighborhoods. But you were lured away. And then you lost yourself in multiculturalism. Integration. All that did was confirm that you all think that whatever the white man has is better. Before that, all you had was what black folks had. And now our community and our families have disintegrated. Whose fault is that you don't love yourself? Huh? Whose fault is it you don't love yourself at least enough to want to have your own communities to live in? Must not be important to you. But you know the truth is, and let me hit you with something that y'all don't know that your pro-blackity blacks will never tell you. I want y'all to listen to this. The truth is, we did stay segregated. We stayed segregated for a long time. Yeah, we had the illusion of desegregation, but what happened when you move in a white folks' neighborhood? You and 2 other black families moving in white folks' neighborhood, gone. They left. They don't want to be around you. And then in those old black neighborhoods like South Central LA, Compton, here, 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas. Hell, Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Places like Mobile, Alabama. They built freeways and other construction projects right through those black neighborhoods. Did y'all know, and this is news for you, did you know that actually they say Black Wall Street was burned down? Did you know they rebuilt it? Yes, they rebuilt Black Wall Street. You didn't know that? Why didn't your favorite blackity black, pro-black, blackity black, superhero history, pro-blackity black teacher tell you that? Why didn't they tell you they rebuilt Black Wall Street? Nobody, I can't believe your little middle-aged lawyer friend, Uncle D, had to tell you. Why didn't he tell you that? I don't know why. Maybe it's not profitable to tell black folks the truth. Maybe it's not profitable to tell you that our ancestors were not victims. Huh? Maybe that's what it is. They start telling you what our ancestors actually did, you might say, damn, hold on a minute. They rebuilt. Victimhood pays. Like to keep you in the dark. They keep you in the dark. They keep you afraid. They didn't tell you that. Let me go ahead and put the article in the chat room so y'all can get it yourself. I'll let you look at it real quick. I'll show you where. Right here for everybody to see. Now, what eventually happened after they rebuilt it? They put a highway through it. And that's laid out in this article right here. In other words, the massacre did not end at all. In fact, Greenwood came back, arguably, stronger than before. See that? Let me read. As Wall Street, although the massacre destroyed the neighborhood, it wasn't the death knell of Greenwood. Even as the Red Cross was erecting tents for them, survivors began planning to rebuild. This is what your ancestors did. Why didn't the blackity blacks tell y'all that? Why didn't the pro-blacks tell you, you up and we're going to rebuild Black Wall Street? It was rebuilt. They rebuilt it. The ones who built it, rebuilt it. You can't stop a builder from building. They rebuilt it. After struggling through the Great Depression by 1940, the black homeowners rate in Tulsa metro area had outstripped that of white residents with a rate of 49% black Tulsans versus 45% of white Tulsans. By 1942, there were 242 black-owned businesses operating in Greenwood, more than existed in 1921. Why aren't these blackity blacks telling you that? Because they don't want you to know that this is what your people did under all adversity. They want to keep you with that slave mentality. I want you to be free. We're free people over here. That's how we get down around here. I'm going to always tell you the truth. I'm never going to let you sit up in victimhood. In other words, and what did in fact, Greenwood came back arguably stronger than before. So why did they stop teaching you at the history of what happened to Black Wall Street in 1921? Why did they stop there? Huh? Why did they stop there? You ask yourself, who has your best interest at heart? These so-called, this is why I'm disgusted by a lot of these quote-unquote pro-blacks, because they're not pro-black. They pump fear into you, and they turn you into little broads and scary people. I'm not a scary person, and I despise cowards. And all they want you to do is sit back and be cowards. They like old fat women sitting home in the tent while the Braves are out fighting. That's what your modern day pro-blacks are. Malcolm X would laugh at some of these clowns. Now, what eventually happened? In 1944, they built Interstate 244 right in the middle of Greenberry. That was in 1971. So let me get this straight, Uncle D. What you're telling me is, what you're telling me is that Black Wall Street, it was attacked in 1921. The people rebuilt, and within 20 years, it was back better than ever. And they just destroyed it in 1971 with a freeway. And that the freeway overpass opened in 1971, and it comes within 170 feet of Vernon AME Church. Yeah, so basically it's still there. Somebody, where's Dr. Umar at? Y'all make sure y'all give him this article. You see it? Let me put it up here for you to Google. What really destroyed Tulsa's black community? July 27, 1922. So the information is out there. But I digress. We'll jump on that in a minute. But you got it now. So I'm not going to accept that. They destroyed everything we built. I'm not going to accept that either. We are a people, not a place. And as long as we have the mind to build, we will build. That's what you need to understand from that. Can you dig it? Somebody type, can you dig it, in the chat room. You got a whole program called Rebuild Black Wall Street, and it was already rebuilt. Most of these people are telling you to rebuild what Black Wall Street was around when it was rebuilt back in 1971. Don't believe these clowns. I'm going to tell you now, don't stop believing them. But yeah, there were other cities, black communities. For instance, Preaching in Mobile, Alabama, they put a dam over it and destroyed it, but the people were still alive. If you're a builder, you're going to build. The problem was by 1971, we didn't have any more builders. We had beggars. Somebody typed, we exchanged builders for beggars. Somebody said, builders turned to beggars. Can you hear me? Huh? My man Miguel Jackson said you can hear wifey in the background cleaning. That's right, man. She cooking dinner and cleaning, but that's how we do it here. That's structure. But anyway, shout out to my baby. So let's go. Let's the rehab. All the excuses, right? What's the premise of this conversation? Any black person that thinks the destiny of black people is determined by what white people give us or allow us to do is an impediment to black progress. We've addressed the political party that we elect. We talked about that. We talked about the drugs that we sold to each other. We talked about the immigrants that are let in by the government and the politicians that we vote for. Right? We talked about the subsidies and so on and whatnot. Affirmative action. But let's dig a little deeper into that. We talked about integration. We talk about desegregation. Whose fault is that? Now, I know you brothers on you. Well, you know, the black woman, what did she do? She gave up her man and her family and her children for government benefits. Okay, right. These lovely ladies took the free cheese like a fat rat. Yep, that happened. The government started giving black women money and housing and divided her up from her man. Men couldn't live in the house with her. They come over, get her pregnant, and keep it pushing. And she kept the house, got rid of him. Now black women are praised for being loose, arrogant, masculine, destructive, and out of control. They blame the black man for the condition of black people, even though they was the one that took the crumbs. You got black women now, they believe every inch of their little divested filled hearts that this is a white man's world. And there's nothing we can do about it. They believe it. And without a black father, black boys being raised by these women have become weak and corrupted. These mothers received sole custody over the past 50 years. From 1865 all the way up to 1965, we had our own communities. Now we don't even own our own children. We don't even see them hard. And what are these women doing? They raising little black boys to be sissies, convicts, and cemetery residents. That's what they're doing. While mama reaps the benefit of the system and lives in a track house in the suburbs somewhere, driving the little baby Benz. That's what's going on. And at this point, we got a lot of weak black men out there. Y'all concerned about being alpha. I'm alpha. I'm alpha. I can make a woman, do this, do that for me. I'm alpha. I'm alpha. You don't even know what alpha is. There's some credit to some of these women on this internet. I know you don't like them, but they calling you out for who you are. They're telling you you weak, and I'm going to tell you why. Some of y'all rather lick the white man's boot and settle for his scraps rather than build your own. Because it's easier to be a beggar than a builder. You think you can beg your way to equality, just like your mama taught you. You think you can shame him into helping. Shaming is a woman tactic. Where you think you got it from? You got it from your mama that raised you, man. You basically operating with your mother's brain. We can't succeed as a group of people until we deal with these black men who are operating with their mother's brain. It was weak, accommodating black men in the black community who allowed this to happen in the first place. You couldn't deal with that fire, or not you, but your granddaddies and great-granddaddies couldn't deal with them women. So they stepped back and allowed black women to steer the ship. They were weak. At some point as a man, you have to put your foot down and be willing to punish those in your society, including the women, the children, and the other men, through social ostracization. As far as the women, you got to take your time, attention, and resources away from them when their behavior is unacceptable and goes against what's necessary for your household and your community. But those men wouldn't do that. They were weak. We call them simps now, but they were weak. Too goddamn accommodating. So whose fault is that, brothers? That your woman is out of pocket? The white man gave her crumbs instead of smacking those crumbs out of her hand and say, come on, woman, we're not taking that. Oh, no, you're not. We're not taking what the white man has to offer. We're going to do it on our own. We're going to starve together. That's what we're going to do. But we're not going to starve. We're going to do what our ancestors did. We're going to build. No, you didn't do that. You said, oh, well, I'm going to go hang out on the corner and drink with Earl and them. And you get that check, I'll come see you in 2 weeks, baby. Weak men, because we went from builders to beggars. That's what happened in the 1960s. We went from builders in the 1860s to beggars in the 1960s. That's what happened. And you still dealing with that mind state from some of those men right now. We lost our sense of community. We hate on each other's success instead of celebrating it because of pettiness and jealousy. Look at all these people that hated on Kevin Samuels. You Negroes deemed him unworthy, didn't you? Didn't you? You saw a well-spoken black man speaking up and trying to talk the degeneracy and the foolishness out of black women. You said he doesn't have a degree. Ain't no white boys on here with no degrees on this YouTube right now. I just want you to know that. Me, Dr. Tia Son Johnson, the G with the PhD, and the kosher clinician are probably the most educated group of men on the internet broadcasted in America right now. You hear that? These white boys are making money. Look, you got white dudes that they just set up a podcast from some back room apartment. Get on there, you would swear up and down they're professionals. Oh, all right. Oh my God. Oh. Y'all don't get in no smoke. But the black man is not good enough. You hate on the black man. Somebody typed Kevin Samuels in the chat room. The man was brilliant. You see, he brilliant now. You got all these people stealing his stuff. Huh? Didn't I tell you they still? Yeah, Dr. Ron Neal too. Yeah, of course. You see these people stealing his stuff though, right? He might not have been the one to admit it, but he was damn sure the first one to do it the best. Million-something followers. Middle-aged black man from Oklahoma. But you hated on him. Stressed the man out. On top of his health issues, y'all stressed him out. See, the generations before us knew that a victory for one was a victory for all. We knew who our true adversary was and what was on the line. Now, we give everything we have, including our money and our integrity, trying to be accepted by people that are not going to accept us. Instead of embracing ourselves. And you wonder why the majority of us have become stereotypes. Sukiana. Somebody type hashtag Sukiana in the chat room. Come on now. Somebody type, what's the girl? Ice Spice. Somebody type hashtag Ice Spice in the chat room. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Yeah, we have become the stereotype. Instead of proving it wrong, we embrace the degenerate behavior, the classless, counterproductive hood culture. Instead of rising above it and becoming the dignified, respectable people that our ancestors wanted to be, oh no, we just gonna roll around in the gutter. And we can't fix anything until we acknowledge our problem is us. And we need to face that head on. I know all your excuses. Now, let's get fancy for the fancy people. Some of you fancy people say, well, yeah. They've been systematically taking things from us. They create systematic barriers. We didn't just turn around one day and end up on welfare, junkies, and crack addicts. They created an environment for everybody to struggle, which made our circumstances even worse, especially considering our historical disadvantages social, economic, and political. So let me get this straight. It's 2023, and you telling me, with your iPhone in your pocket, and your Michael Jordan shoes on your feet, and your ability to read and write and listen and electricity and a toilet in your house, that you are more disadvantaged than my great-great-granddaddy who couldn't read, who left the plantation with his wife and kids, and all the rest of those folk that left the plantation in 1865, roamed around the South, then over the next 20 or 30 years began to build communities and churches, and they couldn't read now. My grandma had an 8th grade education. My granddaddy had a 3rd grade education. You telling me, you telling me, with all your opportunities in the internet and your Cash App and PayPal and whatever, you telling me that you worse off than they are? Huh? This environment is forcing you to struggle more than they struggle? I'm going to let you sit on that for a minute, and then we're going to talk about something else. We'll get back to that in a minute. Somebody type systematic oppression in the chat room. What is a system? Because we're going to deal with it. We're going to give it all the excuses. Remember, I'm coming from the position that you need to take your destiny into your own hands. Okay? And some of y'all are saying, well, I can't because the system is getting, okay, I get it. I get it. Somebody type Dr. Frances Cress Welsing in the chat room. Do y'all even know who Dr. Frances Cress Welsing is? Probably not. I bet you know who Kim Kardashian is, don't you? You know who that is. But you don't know who Dr. Frances Cress Welsing is, do you? That's part of your problem. But anyway, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was a medical doctor. She was a psychiatrist. And she explained racism, white supremacy, as follows. It is the local and global power system and dynamic structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously determined, which consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, emotional response as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity. This is the important part. Economics, because these are the systems that we talk about. These are, one of our greatest minds said, these are the systems that are important. So if you're being oppressed, it's because of these systems right here. We're going to talk about it. Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. For the ultimate purpose of what? Genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation on the planet Earth. So let me sum that up for you all. Basically, what the good doctor is saying, rest in peace, sister. What she's saying is, white people have locked these systems down and manipulated them so that they have an advantage because they're a genetic minority on the planet, and they need to be able to control the majority of these black and brown people because otherwise they would disappear. Even just through attrition, they would disappear, so they got to give themselves an advantage. And so what are these systems that are important that they control? Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. And they're doing this for what? Their own benefit. So my question to you all, and I want you to hear me out, because this is one of those things that I disagree with, or with a lot of people disagree. You don't like when I talk like this. Why are you mad at a group of people for doing what is in their best interest? Let me ask you that again in a different way. Why are you mad at white people for doing what's in white people's best interest? it should be something that an intelligent person would expect, right? White people do what's in white people's best interest. Asian people do what's in Asian people's best interest. Latino people do what's in their best interest. Muslims, Arab people do what's in their best interest. Makes sense, right? Why would you think they would do otherwise? You're the only group of people that put other people's interests before your own. You're the only group of people that try to be fair. You got a black school. You got to have some white folks in it. Don't you? You seek them out. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying. You're the only group of people that do that. Because you want to be justified by their presence. I must be good enough if the white man is here. What does that say about you? I'm not mad at white people for doing what's in white people's interest. We got our asses kicked during slavery for 400-some years, during the transatlantic slave trade. They whooped our asses. They took advantage of us. Whose fault is that? Let's just keep it 100. If you get your butt whooped in a street fight, whose fault is that? If you're not strong enough to defend yourself, if you haven't organized yourself well enough and you get whooped on, whose fault is that? Let me say it like this just so you all can understand where I'm coming from, because I'm not like y'all. The world belongs to whoever's strong enough to take it and hold on to it. The world is strong enough, the world belongs to whoever is strong enough to take it and hold on to it. Nobody has right. Everybody has right. If another group of people come along and whoop your butt and take what you got, that's on you. Gang, gang. Right? Ain't that what you young people say? That's how ruthless the world is. That's the world that we live in. You don't like that? That's the reality. So again, why are you mad at a group of people for doing what's in their own best interest? You should be doing what's in your own best interest. Now, that said, let's talk about these systems. The systems. Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, warfare. Some of y'all say the systems are holding me back. The systems are racist. Well, we acknowledge that they're supposed to be. The people who created these systems or who run these systems right now, they want to ensure their own survival. But that doesn't mean you just roll over and die and let it happen. That means you organize. Somebody type organize. That means you use whatever power and resources you have to protect yourself. The dominant society is going to do what's in the best interest of the dominant society. Nevertheless, regarding these systems, we acknowledge that in this country, that the systems were biased and in favor of white folk. There was a time you couldn't buy a house anywhere. And then guess what happened? They had some fair housing bills that come up. You couldn't vote. You didn't have equal rights. That's what civil rights was about. That's why you got the Fair Housing Act, right to employment, right to vote, right to serve in the U.S. Army, right to work, right to use public facilities and accommodations. That's what your ancestors fought for. There were laws that our ancestors fought for that were put in place, they fought and died for, that were put in place so that the system wasn't supposed to be against you anymore. There was a time you could sue and nothing happened. That was Plessy versus Ferguson. The law of the land was you had no right that a white man had to abide by. Now things are different. So when you say that the system is against you right now, there was actually a time when it was, but now it's not supposed to be. And you have mechanisms in place to address those grievances when they occur, whether it's in economics and your ability to be employed, your education, labor, law, politics, you got the right to vote, religion, you can worship how you want, sex, war, you can join, whatever. So just think about that, man. What we need to do is we need to deal with these divisions in the black community. I tell you, brothers and sisters, all the time, I'm FBA all the way. Foundational Black American. Right? I love being a foundational Black American. I'll play the game with you. I'll play it with you. But see, to the dominant society, we all one big Negro, so it don't matter. But I'll play the game with you till we get over it. Because see, look, we are better together. Somebody type that in the chat room. We're better together. And until we come together for a common cause, I don't see anything reversing. The answer lies within you, not the community. You start with yourself. Focus on yourself and your family, and you'll succeed. Black dependency on white approval is the problem. And any person that thinks that our destiny or the destiny of black people is determined by white people, you're an impediment to black progress. Now, we've been talking for an hour. I got a lot more to say. If you've learned something so far, make sure you hit the Cash App up. Because we're going to go in tonight. I got time today. We ain't finished. We got time today. I want to take the shot time to acknowledge Will, Mr. Williams, Salty Balls. Thank you so much, man. Mr. Coleman, Kasra, Brent, Mr. Nikamika, Naya McKee. Thank you so much, Mr. Ellis, and Mr. Will. Thank you so much. And of course, I want to acknowledge everybody who hit me up on the Cash App, a super chat. But we ain't finished. We got something to talk about tonight. We're gonna deal with this. Somebody type, we in a cipher tonight. Somebody type cipher. Old school, baby. Old school cipher. Thank you, baby. A beautiful, lovely fiance / wifey just brought this for me. Teamwork, baby. Now, let's transition now. We've talked about it, right? We talked about it. And this is the Cash App right here for you guys. The discourse on racial progress, particularly for black communities, is laden with complex history, struggles, and aspirations. We talked about that. When I say any person that thinks the destiny of black people is determined by what white people give us or allow us to do is an impediment to black progress, that's a powerful assertion. Calling for deep reflection and a nuanced understanding of the dynamics of power, self-determination, and progress. In this conversation that we're having, I intend to explore how dependency on external validation and permission can hinder the progress of black communities, and emphasizing the importance of internal empowerment, agency, and self-determination. Hot damn. Now, again, I acknowledge we got a legacy of historical oppression. And in order for you to understand that, in order for you to get what we're talking about here, you understand that that statement is rooted, that I gave, is vital for you to understand the implications. Black people have been subjected to centuries of slavery, colonization, and systematic racism, which has left an indelible mark on our socioeconomic, political, and cultural conditions. Now, we acknowledge, as stated earlier, this historical oppression has fostered a power imbalance where white people have been positioned as gatekeepers of opportunities, resources, and rights. While significant strides have been made, and I think we can acknowledge that, we've dismantled the overt discriminatory practices. That's what we did with the laws. But the residue of those power structures continue to influence perceptions, interactions, and opportunities. You think, I heard this said once, we got a great memory and poor judgment. You remember what we had to deal with, but right now you don't recognize there's a difference between the conditions that were then and the ones that are now. And so what does that leave us? That leaves us in the trap of dependency. The trap of dependency is when Black individuals, Black folks, you, me, perceive our destiny as being contingent upon what white people provide or permit. And it fosters a sense of helplessness and reliance. That's what we are. And this mindset, as you all see, because we see it every day on the corner, it limits aspirations, it stifles initiatives, and it perpetuates a cycle of dependency. In your mind, white people are the sole arbiters of Black success and progress. The men won't let me do it. You hear it all the time. But by relinquishing your agency and internal power, in other words, if you think that your destiny is in somebody else's hand, what do? You inadvertently uphold the very structures that have oppressed Black community. That's what we at. I got some examples for you of how we have fallen for the trap of dependency. When you perceive that your destiny is contingent upon what white people provide or permit, it's a trap. And this mindset is detrimental to Black communities' advancement, because you got people that don't think they can do it unless they got that stamp of the white man. Economic dependency, that's the most important, I think. It's crucial for any community development. But the trap of dependency can be evident. It's there in the workforce. You go to that job, you feel compelled to conform to the white-dominated industries and the job roles. You perceive this as the only financial viable path that you have. You have Black folks who, I'm gonna give you an example, you have Black folks who were free in 1865, but they went straight back to the plantation. They call that sharecropping. And what happened? These free Black slaves became economically dependent on the white landowners. They trapped them in a cycle of debt and limited their ability to accumulate wealth. What did they do? Oh yeah, old Tom, you need a mule, huh? Come on down to my store. Okay, boss. Boss owned the land, the plantation, and the store. You need a mule and the plow for the land. You need seed. You go down there and get that from him for $1,000. At the end of the year, you make $1,500. And he wants interest on $1,000. So you got to give him $1,200. You make $300. That's what you made all year. You still got to feed your family. So you go back into debt because you constantly borrowing from the company store that he owns, and he owns the land. He might sell the cotton that you make in a year's production for $8,000. He's made a profit. You still trapped on the land in a cycle of debt. They wouldn't. My grandma left Mississippi when my mama was 14. So that'd have been 1969. the man who owned the property put my grandma off the land and said, you got to go because my aunties and my uncles, they had went to Chicago, they went out to California, and so there wasn't enough people to work the land. And so he was going to get her off the land and get a new family that'll come in. They own the house, the land, everything. But before she leaves, she had to sell all her stuff to pay off the debt that she owed him. And at that time, my granddaddy was sick. So this affects me personally. This is my grandma, right? I wish I could get this picture. I'm gonna show you. Let me show you. This is my grandma right here. Elmira King Williams. This lady who raised me. Tutwiler, Mississippi, Clarksdale. Rest of her soul. Hardworking woman. He looked like all of y'all grandma too, Elmira. Y'all got somebody put them older ladies' name, Hattie. She had a sister named Hattie Florence. Her name was Elmira. Elmira May. You understand what I'm saying? So I know all about that. I heard the story. That's sharecropper. My grandma was a sharecropper. My mama picked cotton, man. But that's what happens when you're dependent economically. When you think all I can do is stay here. Them kids didn't believe it. Somebody had Mildred, Blue, Ernestine, come on, Bernadette, Nadine, come on, give me all these. Wanda Faye, that's a good one right there. Joyce, Gladys, Maddie, come on, Hattie. Yeah. Give me the name of give me the name of the woman your granddaddy was cheating with. That's the name. That's them the names right there. Fannie Mae. Come on, give me them. Granddaddy had a whole nother family crossed out. What was that woman's name? Come on. Yeah. Carolyn Faye, yeah. Them 2-syllable names. Them ones, Coralie, Geraldine, Margaret, yep. But let's continue. Educational disparities. So what are we talking about? How is it that black folks get into this trap of dependency? Economic dependency is one. Educational disparities. Education plays a critical role in breaking the cycle of poverty and fostering progress. The dependency mindset can manifest in educational settings when black students and parents perceive the quality of education they receive as being solely determined by white administrators and policymakers. Were you here earlier? Were y'all here earlier? And the truth is, this has been evident in historical underfunding of schools in predominantly black neighborhoods, which lead to a lack of resources and opportunities for students. Did y'all see my boy here earlier? My son was here, my 16-year-old son was here a little earlier with me. Y'all, the playback, y'all will see that. What did you hear him tell you I was doing? Every day after school since July, and July was the summer. So July, August, September, October, which is where we are now, he's been going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to a location where he receives 2 hours of training on how to take the SAT, and they also educate him on what? His algebra. You heard him talk. I'm not waiting around for one of these public schools to educate my son and make sure he gets a 1450 or 1500 on the SAT. I'm not doing that. I recognize the educational disparities. I recognize the economic dependency. I'm not working for somebody else. I work for myself as an attorney, and I work for y'all. And that's why I say, if you think I've done my job and you've earned something, pay me for my time. I work for y'all. I service my own people. I recognize the educational disparities. You're going to think I'm going to sit around and say, well, our schools are bad. There's nothing else I can do. Go read your children a book every night. Kids, you read your 2-year-old a book, a couple of passages. He'll be reading better than everybody else in the school by the time he get there. Take your destiny into your own hands. So let's talk about political representation. I know y'all know all about that. Y'all think that's the end all to be all. Nevertheless, political empowerment is essential for advocating for rights and implementing change. In Black communities, Black people, we face significant barriers in achieving political representation. The dependency trap regarding political representation is present when there is a reliance on white politicians to advocate for the interest of Black communities, rather than fostering political leadership and representation that's homegrown. Because you got some Black politicians they're just as bad as the white ones. You see? But that's why during the civil rights movement, we had Black leaders pressure white politicians to pass legislation like the Voting Rights Act in 1965, so we could have say-so. So when we did have somebody homegrown that we sent up there and they did what we said do, darn it, we voted them in. We had the power to do it. And when they get in there, you keep an eye on them. And the other thing you do, you make sure you show up down there with everybody else's group and you putting a little money in their pocket so they can get reelected. Voting is just getting them in the door. That's like dropping your kid off at kindergarten and then expecting them to pick it and then expecting to pick him up on the day he graduates from high school. No, you got to get involved. You got to be on him like a lean tick on a sick kitten. That's how you do politicians. You got to lean on them. Cultural validation. This is a big problem for you all. The trap of dependency extends to the realm of culture. What do I mean by that? You little rappers and singers. If white folks don't put that validation of acceptance on you, if they don't get that Oscar, from these, if they don't get from white dominated media, oh my, they just not good enough. No. And in order to get that, look at some of the roles that they got Black people playing. Just roles that historical stereo. Look at the historical stereotyping and typecasting of Black actors in film television that perpetuate these harmful narratives. And, look what they do. Denzel won his first Oscar for being a rogue, thug, killer cop. Halle Berry won her first Oscar for being a hussy, a skank. But that's because, we're looking for validation. Y'all bored? Let me know. I'm enjoying myself. But look, breaking free from the trap of these dependent, it requires a conscious effort to foster self-determination, empowerment, and agency within the Black community. You got to invest in education, promoting economic independence. You got to advocate for political representation, challenging stereotypes and cultural representation. You got to do that. You got to reclaim the power. You got to shape your own destinies as a people. That's what needs to happen. And the journey toward progress and empowerment is one that's got to be paved by self-belief and resilience and steadfastness and commitment and challenging the status quo. We got to ensure that the future of black progress is determined from within rather than being dictated from external forces. Somebody say Black Wall Street rebuilt itself. Somebody write that. Somebody type, they did rebuild Black Wall Street. We need to break these psychological chains by cultivating empowerment and self-determination in black communities. This persistent cycle, dependency on white permission and acceptance, it's long been it's a stifling factor in the progress of black people, and it limits our potential, and it undermines our autonomy. And to dismantle this detrimental cycle, it is crucial to challenge the prevailing narrative that perpetuates this dependency and to foster a mindset centered on empowerment and self-determination. So how do we challenge the prevailing narrative? We got to redefine identity and worth. And the first step in challenging the prevailing narrative is to redefine the identity and worth of ourselves, independent of what white folks think about us. And this involves rejecting these stereotypes, which is something I do all day, every day. You got to embrace the richness of black culture and recognize the inherent value and potential within the black community, because we got a lot. You know how I know? Everybody else think we got a lot. They constantly watching us. We get something good, they steal it from us, take it, make some money off of it. But see, if we foster a strong sense of identity and self-worth, then black people can begin to disentangle their sense of achievement and progress from the need of white approval. We take out, okay, we don't need y'all. It don't matter what y'all think. We like ourselves. Somebody type, we like ourselves in the chat room. We need to reclaim our historical narratives. The history of black people, African people in general, is rich, diverse, and filled with stories of resilience, innovation, and strength. Why don't y'all start writing some books, man? Why don't y'all start talking about the histories of your ancestors? Put all that out there. Instead of letting these gangsters, instead of letting Sukiana be your spokesperson. What's her name? Dusty Red? What is her name? Dusty Red or Hot Red? What's that young girl's name with all them damn tattoos? What's her name? I know Sukiana, Lemon and Spice, and then what's that other one's name? What's her name? Reddy? Y'all know her. I don't know. But the thing is, by reclaiming and highlighting these narratives, black folks can challenge the distorted historical accounts that have contributed to their perceived inferiority. Somebody typed the Florida problem in the chat room. Somebody typed the Seminole Indians in the chat room. Somebody typed, we built with Black Wall Street in the chat room. And what does this do when we reclaim the historical narratives? Well, this act of reclamation serves as a powerful tool for education and inspiration, reminding black folk of their roots and their capacity for greatness. That's all I'm doing. I gave y'all terms you can look up. It's right there for you. Another thing we need to do is we need to counteract the cycle of dependency. And in order to do that, it's essential to promote representation and visibility of black folks in various spheres of society, including media, politics, education, business, law, engineer, all these different things. And by all these positive things, instead of drug dealer, football player, and rainbow rider, right? Let's do some of that other stuff. And by occupying these spaces traditionally dominated by white folk, black people can challenge the status quo and demonstrate their capabilities and pave the way for future generations. That's real representation, fam. This is you taking your destiny into your own hands. Are y'all with me? This is us cultivating a mindset of empowerment and self-determination. And again, I'm going to emphasize education because it's a crucial tool to empowerment. We are lovers of education. We were educated people on the way over here. Many of us, before we left the continent, we spoke multiple languages. As soon as many of us were freed from slavery, one of the first things many of us wanted to learn how to do, if for nothing else, how to read the Bible. You had elderly people in the room with your little kids in these one-room schoolhouses. We never ran from education. So yeah, education is crucial. Our ancestors knew that. And by promoting access to quality education and fostering critical thinking skills, learning to think, guess what happened? Black communities, Black people can equip themselves with knowledge and capabilities needed to challenge these systematic barriers and create opportunities for progress. Progress. I guess depends, potato, tomato. Strong communities, community solidarity, that's the foundation for empowerment. We talked about what the issue is right now. You brothers got to put your foot down. Start being men again. Start claiming your role and force everybody into their role. When you get into your role as a man, everybody else got to get in their role. But then also building networks of support, sharing resources, fostering a sense of solidarity. And with that, Black folks can create a collective force capable of challenging what we perceive as oppression and advocating for change. I didn't know about this place where I could send my son to take the SAT. I got a brother that I hang out. I met him up at the track one day running around the park. I said, man, you need to bring your son out here. Let me teach. I'll come out here with my boxing coach because my son's out. So he brought his son out there. This was back in 2015. Now the boy's graduating from one of the local colleges on his way to U of H. I called him up. I said, yeah, man, what do you think about this SAT? I sent my son over here to such and such place, man. It's going to cost you a little bit, but hell, it got him up way high in the test scores. So I sent my son to the same place, sharing resources, networking. Instead of being afraid of your brother, help your brother and see if your brother can help you. That's what we did. Now his son is going to college and law school, and mine will be right behind to him, following the same path. That's creating a collective force that's capable of challenging perceived oppression and advocating. That's what we did. Also, encouraging entrepreneurship and economic independence. You should be happy that you got Black folk on the internet right now, speaking like you speak, looking like you look, talking to you ever. You don't have to watch cable, CNN. You can put your little iPhone down, put your little earplugs in as you driving down the street of your truck driving. And listen to me talk to you about positive things, making you feel good, planting these seeds in your mind. And you all have the opportunity to do what? Pay me for my time, but more importantly, this is encouraging entrepreneurship because when somebody else sees me, they say, well, I can do what Uncle D used to do. I'm going to be the Blizzard King too. And what is that? Economic independence. The reason I can talk to you the way I can is because I own my own law practice. Primarily because I have Black folk coming to me, allowing me, giving me the privilege to represent them in their legal matters. And so because of that, I can give back. Because of that, I'm going to put these two intelligent, well-spoken, black sons back into the black community. And when I get that third one, I'm going to do the same with him. So that makes you look good, makes black folks look good. That's what happens when you recycle black dollars. So we should be encouraging entrepreneurship because it fosters avenues of economic independence. Black people can reduce their dependency on white-dominated industries and create sustainable paths to wealth and prosperity. I got black girls working at my office from the local the Texas Southern University College, the HBCU. Did y'all know that? Ain't that something? I got two young foundational black American girls working at my office, working their way through college. One of them wanted to be a lawyer. So she learning firsthand from a black lawyer, which is rare because we only represent 1 or 2% of the lawyers in America. She gets a chance to work in one of the only black lawyers' office, serving other black people. We serve everybody, of course, white, black, whatever. But the bottom line is, this is what's happening. When the FBI came to my office, he don't like black women. He get in there, he's surrounded by black women that work for me. Isn't that something? They be like, we good, we gonna get out of here. We know that was a false call. And after I told them I was gonna sue whoever made that call, they ain't called me back. Shout out to the haters. Nevertheless, cultivating leadership is important. And to break free from the cycle of dependency, it's imperative to cultivate leadership and a sense of agency within the black community. That involves developing skills and fostering confidence and providing opportunities for black people to take on leadership roles and actively shape their future. That's what I'm doing, man. But the thing is, community solidarity is pivotal in the journey towards self-determination and empowerment. And by forging strong community bonds and networks of support, black folk can create spaces and nurture resilience, innovation, and progress. Y'all bored? Huh? I know y'all want me to come in here and talk about lovely ladies and cuss and talk about these. Oh, I know what y'all want, but we're not going to do that today. Today, we got bricks coming that you're going to build your character, build your economic base. That's what we're going to do today. Today, we're talking about strong community bonds and support networks. Why? Because they have historically played a crucial role in fostering resilience, innovation, and progress within black communities. We used to have a black church. We don't have that no more. Y'all don't go to church. Y'all ain't like Jesus. You know I'm telling the truth. But the thing is, by uniting people who share similar experiences and aspirations, these networks can serve as powerful catalysts for change and empowerment. Right? Now, how do we foster community solidarity? How do we do that? How do we do that? Well, of course, communities are important. And I talked a little bit about places like Black Wall Street. And this was a prosperous area developed by and for African Americans, featuring a thriving economy with numerous Black-owned businesses. And that community provided economic opportunities and encouraged entrepreneurship and created self-sufficient environment that challenged the prevailing racial stereotypes at the time. This is a Black community. There's mostly Black folk on here. And again, as I said, despite the tragic Tulsa race massacre in 1921, they rebuilt themselves. By 20 years, they was back better than ever. We rebuilt Black Wall Street. It wasn't until they ran Highway 244 through it in 1971. Did we talk about that earlier? Hmm? So don't let them lie to you anymore. Our black colleges are an underused resource. My fiance, sent her over to Thurgood Marshall School of Law. Great law school. She getting a great education over there. She gonna be one of the best when she get out. We talked about the black businesses, you got that, but also our art and culture. Where are our artists at? Where are our painters and our poets and our writers? The Harlem Renaissance was a cultural revival in the 1920s, centered in the Harlem neighborhoods of New York City, celebrating black artistic expression, literature, and music. Where's that at? That movement was rooted in strong community ties and a shared desire to challenge racial stereotypes, creating a space where black creativity and intellect was celebrated and showcased to the world. We need that. And of course, mentorship. But we can do that right here, because investing in your own, that plays a vital role in breaking the cycles of poverty and empowering future leaders. Most of y'all ain't never talked to a lawyer this long, have you? Boy, them lawyers ain't gonna talk to you this long, are they? Hell no. But I'm investing in you all. Y'all bored? Let me know. I can talk about something else. I'm almost finished. Right now, I want to talk about something very serious, though, because this is very important. Very, very important to me. And I want y'all to hear me out. Somebody type "we're better together" in the chat room. Somebody type "we're better together" in the chat room. Please do that for me. Somebody type "we are better together" in the chat room. Black people in America and black people in Africa can create a community and solidarity in a journey towards self-determination and empowerment. We need each other. We are better together. Creating a transcontinental bridge of a community and solidarity between black people in America and black people in Africa, that holds the potential to foster self-determination and empowerment for both groups. And whether you believe it or not, it's happening right now. Somebody type "passport bros" in the chat room. Shout out to the passport bros. Somebody type "passport bros" in the chat room. I see it happening. Somebody type "Exodus, movement of your people." Come on, somebody type "passport bros" in the chat room. Come on, let's hear it. Let's talk about it. Y'all didn't know I was gonna go there. Some kind of way, I always figure out how to bring up passport bros. Somebody type "passport bros" in the chat room. See, this passport bro movement, it will help create a transcontinental bridge of community and solidarity between black people in America and black people in Africa. Did y'all know that? What do you think is happening with these brothers? They're not just talking to people on the phone. They're going to establish a robust connection between black people in America and their counterparts in Africa. And this will foster a transcontinental bridge of community and solidarity. Because this movement encourages African Americans to obtain their passports, travel, and immerse themselves in diverse cultures and African nations. You think they're just going to stop in Colombia and the Dominican Republic? Nah, they already get going over to Africa. And through these personal experiences and interaction, individuals, brothers, can build genuine relationships and exchange knowledge and collaborate on various initiatives, leading to a strengthening of the global black community. That's what's happening. That's why I always supported Passport Bros. See, all the stereotypes are going to go away in a minute Because like, what you mean? I got all these black dudes right. I'm cool with them. One of them married to my daughter. He cool as hell. He came over here. He's an engineer. He helped build the infrastructure around here. The movement also serves as a platform for addressing shared challenges and promoting economic empowerment and preserving cultural heritage. You're going to go over there and you're going to immerse yourself in the culture, just like I went down to the DR. I learned to speak Spanish. We got brothers over there right now. I'm going to talk about them in a minute. It's one thing to talk about going to Africa. It's another thing to go to Africa. And by creating these direct links between the diaspora and the continent, it bypasses traditional narratives and stereotypes. Listen, and allows for a more accurate understanding and appreciation of each other's histories, struggles, and accomplishments. These brothers are going to go over there and they're going to be like, man, we got a lot in common with our brothers in Africa. Don't listen to what they saying on CNN. It ain't like that. They got beautiful cities. They balling over there. This transcontinental camaraderie has the potential to spur innovation as individuals from different backgrounds come together, brainstorm solutions tailored to the unique needs of Black people across the globe. Somebody type Passport Bros in the chat room. Because Passport Bros in this movement plays a crucial role in unifying the Black diaspora and fostering a sense of belonging and pride, and contributing to the overall upliftment and progress of Black folks worldwide. Do you know the important work of one of our very own, ODJ, huh? Also known as O'Shea Duke Jackson. Do you know what O'Shea Duke Jackson is doing over there in Africa? Do you know what that brother is doing over there? Do y'all know who O'Shea Duke Jackson is? One of my favorite podcasters here on YouTube, one of the founders of the Black Manosphere. O'Shea Duke Jackson is a businessman. I told him, you're going to be one of the first billionaires in this group. He's a businessman. Number one, if you go to his channel, he's constantly and consistently putting his videos out. He's mechanized this thing. He always talk about infrastructure. He might say, you haven't reinvested in, your infrastructure. You got your little Dusty. Somebody type Dusty channel in the chat room. Uncle D got a Dusty channel. I know I got a Dusty channel. But he's mechanized this. He's turned this into a business. He don't get in no trouble with YouTube. He's a businessman. Do you know what he is? Somebody type Kinganga in the chat room. He's over in Uganda. He's over in Africa doing business. He's a leader in that regard. What about Austin Holloman? Have y'all followed that young brother? See, most of y'all, that's the dude that got put out of Brazil. He got put out of Brazil and went straight to where he's supposed to be. Austin Holloman has been traveling to all of these beautiful countries in Africa, and he's developing cultural understanding, and this young man is taking you all with him. He's taking us with him. Not only are you seeing beautiful women, but you're also seeing infrastructure and language and socialization. So you got the passport bro, O'Shea Duke Jackson. He probably ain't gonna say your passport bro. And Austin Holloman. You got business happening on one side. You got cultural understanding on another side. And you see it right here every day. Now imagine looking at that for the next 3, 4, 5 years. You say, well, damn, I bet I can do that. So yeah, the Passport Bros move is crucial. And these are just men that broadcast. O'Shea Duke Jackson got a dating show for Africans in the diaspora. Somebody from Trinidad can date some woman from Uganda. Or somebody from Detroit can date someone from Ethiopia. That's dope. Let me tell you something else. The next Black Renaissance is going to occur because of the rise of Africa over the next 30 years. Did y'all see that fight? Francis Ngannou? You see that? Ngannou, you see that fight? I feel like he won. The brother won, knocked him out in the third round with that bam, left hook behind the ear. But why is it that Africa is going to rise up? Well, do you see what's happening in Europe? They're being overrun by the people that they colonized, and now they don't know what to do? Huh? It's because Africa is one of the only continents that has a growing population, and the rest of the continents have a shrinking population. I know the locals in places like Italy don't like it, but they're going to need somebody to take care of them old people up there because they're not reproducing enough people. And so the land is going to be what? Vacant, unoccupied. What did I tell you guys earlier? The world belongs to who? Whoever's strong enough to take it and hold on to it. So these same people who colonized these African countries are now being colonized by the people they been overrun by the people they colonized. Oh, well. But nevertheless, what's more important is you're going to start seeing pop culture shift to Africa and Africans in the diaspora. Black Americans, we've had it on lockdown for a long time. We have. But as it is right now, as far as music and entertainment, Burna Boy. Somebody type Burna Boy in the chat room. What about Francis Ngannou? What about Israel Adesanya? He was born in Nigeria. In the coming decades, these are the black people that's going to be, that's going to be what's hot. See, I, for one, am willing to let past events, be past events. These meaningless misunderstandings, we call them booty scratchers. They call us cockers. Okay, whatever. Let's get this money. I'm not going to let my ego get in the way of my pocket. You understand me? Because I'm a hustler. I'm also not going to let any religion or some political views interfere with my reconnection with my brothers and my sisters on the continent. In other words, all that don't matter. All that is unnecessary division. That's invisible beef. But what you all need to understand is, somebody type Passport Bros in the chat room. Somebody got Passport Bros in the chat room. We're going to leave. And if you decide to stay over here, right here, you're going to be here by yourself with the rest of the Eurocentric minded Negro peons. What you think these brothers are doing? What I'm proposing for you all is an African diaspora network. It could be a global initiative aimed at connecting black people in America with their counterparts in Africa. And this network will focus on various domains, including entrepreneurship, education, culture, and social development. That's all I'm saying. Entrepreneurial exchange that enables black entrepreneurs from America to partner with African entrepreneurs with the goal of sharing knowledge, resources, business strategies, develop joint ventures, and create products and services that cater to both continents. That's what you see O'Shea Duke Jackson doing. He doing it right now. You got a whole bunch of Africans working for him. And he black, he from Oakland, not Oakland, he from Sacktown. Shout out to the Sacktown. Cultural exchange and education. We can implement cultural and education exchange program where individuals, Austin Holloman, especially the youth, Austin Holloman, can travel between America and Africa and learn about their respective histories, cultures, and contemporary issues. That's what the boy doing now. If he can do it, why can't you do it? What does that do? It strengthens cultural ties. It fosters a sense of shared identity and it dispels misconceptions. That's what all you got, that handsome young man over there from Dallas, Texas, talking to all them pretty girls in Africa. They're going to want to see some more of y'all come over there. So that's two examples right there, two men that you all know very well who are doing just what I said do. And then, of course, you got the technology and the innovation. Some of you engineer types, you create technology and transfer and innovation hub or something like that, encouraging collaborations in areas like software development, clean energy, agricultural technology. And you could leverage the technological advancements and innovation and ecosystems in America to support and develop Africa. And also enabling African innovators to share locally adapted solutions and insight. It's a possible thing, baby. Somebody type Chad Passport Bros in the chat room, baby. Social development and advocacy. All these educated folk over here, all you social workers, nurses, why don't y'all think about going to Africa and address some of the challenges of healthcare and education and civil rights? You pool your resources and your knowledge and you improve the social infrastructures and advocate for policies that benefit both continents, both black folk here and in the continent. And what will the outcome be? Number one, you strengthen ties and you share resources. And what this will do, it will serve as a platform to build strong transcontinental bonds, enabling the sharing of knowledge, resources, and opportunity, economic empowerment. By promoting entrepreneurship and business collaboration, the network will contribute to economic empowerment and jobs. You got the cultural awareness. It's all there. It's all there. But again, the assertion that the destiny of black people should be contingent upon white people providing us a permit to do what's in our best interest. Oh no. No. It's important that we break free from the shackles of dependency and reclaim agency. And we begin to chart a course towards progress and empowerment of our choosing. By investing in education, nurturing community and solidarity, and fostering a mindset of self-determination, both here and in the continent, we disrupt the cycle of dependency and stride confidently toward the future defined by our aspirations, our capabilities, and our agencies. And in doing so, we ensure the trajectory of Black progress is determined not by what somebody gives us or what they allow us to have, but by the unwavering belief in our potential and the relentless pursuit of our goals. Your destiny is in your hands. Your destiny is in your hands. That's what our ancestors would want. I believe that, true and true. Nevertheless, I think I've done a good job today. I think that I've earned my keep today. If you think that I've done a good job, if you think that you've been well served for these past 2 hours that I've been blabbing on, then pay me for my time. The Cash App is on the screen. The Super Chat is open on the Blizzard King channel. And if you think I've done my job, you think I've earned my keep, well then pay me for my time, baby. That's all you got to do. In the meantime, and while you do, let's get some of this good word right here. Right? It ain't queued up right. Somebody type black men are winning in the chat room. Y'all give me 10 cash apps and I'll be back. You understand what I'm saying? Hate me all you want to, baby. I don't mind hating me. Hate all you can. Let me go the other way. Hate all you can. Hate everything. But I'm gonna still make you look good. Black men winning. Okay? Come on. Somebody type that in the chat room. black men winning. Okay, because that's just what's happening. We are winning.
We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. Yeah. We winning. We winning. We winning. I know they hating out here. Yeah. I know they mad. They all in their feelings. But baby, I don't care. She calling the police on me and everything. Yeah. Somebody need to get on the phone, call my attorney. Dealing with these hard-headed hoes who ain't learning. Acting all ignorant like a motherfucking menace. She better bundle up, cause bitches about to be winner. Niggas acting timid, why you think she treat a nigga so bad? Turn her only fucking son into a killer. Can't even distinguish who the women, who the bitches. She broke my nigga, even Jesus can't fix it. Navajo nigga, got a man up in prison, but quick to tell you, get your bag up, bitch, quit it. Ever heard of Dennis? Yes sir, get your spurling, we in court early, don't be acting all girly. Keep that same energy, don't need any men. You the man, you the father, you the face of many men. Yep, Minnie Rippleton, taking L's your whole life. While the passport bros taking off the next flight. Some thick, something feminine, rubbing on my shoulders. Be a cold day in hell, Blizzard King try to tell you. A new world is coming, bitch, you better stop sinning. See, God took Kevin, left your sorry ass with Dennis.
Somebody type of old broad in the chat room. Talking about men, you can't find them. That just means you had your chance, boo. You had your chance, and your chance has passed you by. Husband done went on to the great beyond. He's not there looking for you no more. You done hit one wall. Somebody type one wall in the chat room. You done hit two walls. Somebody say 3 walls. Yeah. If you listen to women, especially black women, they'll tell you exactly what their intentions are. They're not mad at Joe Blow off the street who got a white woman who's broke, but they mad at hell at Kobe Bryant, and he's been dead for years now. They're mad at Tay Diggs, mad at Jamie Foxx. They're mad at Terrell Owens and all the rest of the rich men. But why?
I did some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong. Right. I was teased from high school, even college.
Why?
I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn, so they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. Blizzard King. Yeah. We on something else. It's cold outside, baby. You gotta bundle up out here. Yeah.
Policing black men as a way of having men with resources remain available, thereby doing the bidding for these lovely ladies.
Got a lot of niggas that's out here trying to peep shit. Dick watching, always concerned about who you sleep with. Locker room gazing, single mamas made him mad cause he thirsty. Hood bitches that played him, cotton picker. All about self, he's a rotten nigga. He hit below the belt, he's a box licker. Take a picture, post it up, he's a mop nigga. Deputized, law enforcement, he's a cop nigga. Whoop, 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 pull over. Behind you so close, like he wanna get up on you. We don't play with niggas, so homie, get your head tuned. We will slay a nigga that gossip out the bedroom. We are not concerned about who you're touching, let's get that. Gotta earn like fuck who you fucking, so let's miss that. Blizzard King blowing through your comments, frigid, colder than a motherfucking glacier.
Don't let that man pump you up, Daddy, and get your ass shot out here. We ain't no damn top flight security of the world. You heard what happened to the last security guards. Bingo, I got action.
Whoop, whoop, that's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop, passport dick police. Whoop, whoop, while we flying overseas. Whoop, whoop, kick a Keisha you can keep. Whoop, whoop, that's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop, passport dick police. Whoop, whoop, while we flying overseas. Whoop, whoop, kick a Keisha you can keep. Crooked officer, crooked officer. Tell these rotten hoes get a ball for us. They just wanna see me in a car, officer. Go and get your daddy, get a ball for us. Crooked officer, crooked officer. We chillin' overseas, yeah, we bossin' up. Tell me what I need to get your offers up. Don't nobody want you, gotta cough it up, yeah. It's cold outside, Blizzard King coming. Blizzard King coming. It's cold outside, Blizzard King coming. Blizzard King coming. It's cold outside. Blizzard King coming. Blizzard King coming. It's cold outside. Blizzard King coming. Blizzard King coming. The truth gotta hurt for all my lovely ladies, and your love was fading for our blackmail babies. You abort me. Take me to court, yeah, trying to extort me. You want my protection, give me a court fee. A runaway slave, don't save her. She don't wanna be saved, don't save her. She don't wanna be saved, don't save her. She don't wanna be saved.
When the buzzer pop, nigga, you stop. We don't give a damn about who you are. Let your little ass take one more step. We'll bury your ass in them fake ass iguana shoes you wearing.
That's the sound of the beast. Passport dick police. While we flying overseas. Keisha, you can keep. That's the sound of the beast. Passport dick police. While we flying overseas. Keisha, you can keep.
Damn, man, girl, you done blew up my damn supersonic thing. You hiding something back there in your cargo area, ain't you, that guy? Look like you're smuggling 2 beach balls in your cargo area, that guy.
Crooked officer. Tell these rotten hoes get up off of us. They just wanna see me in a car, officer. Go and get your daddy, get up off of us. Crooked officer. We chillin' overseas, yeah, we bossin' up. Tell me what I need to get your offers up. Don't nobody want you, gotta cough it up, yeah.
Now let me tell you what this is really about, fellas, and I want you to somebody type follow the money in the chat room. Somebody type follow the money in the chat room. This dick policing is about money. They, i.e. the lovely ladies and the pro-black simps that do their bidding, want you to pair off with black women so that they can control you through her. Go to black church, black events, subject to black social circles. She controls you and your resources. What did I tell you about women? Women want to control themselves and their body, and they want to control you and your body and your resources. That's biologically what women were designed to do. All right, welcome back to the broadcast. I appreciate you guys who contribute to the Cash App, man. Hit the #1 button if you would enjoy yourself, man. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Gates, Mr. Oliver Jr., Mr. Maxey, Mr. Gibbs, Mr. Black by Design. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys. Also, Alon, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Ron, Mr. Mark the Freelancer, Mr. Peterson, Mr. Battle, Mr. Blair, Mr. Marshall, Mr. Hamlet, Thabit Bay. Thank you so much, Mr. Tijan, Mr. Wilson. Big shout out to I Just Sent You. I think that's his name. And then, of course, Expansion Wiring Technologies, Red Pill Stephen, Terrence, Will, Mr. Ellis, Mr. Absalom, Mr. Brent, also Kasara, Hezekiah, let me see, Deacon Salty Balls, and also Mr. Williamson. Will, you guys enjoyed this broadcast, man. Well, I think it's been a classic. You know, I don't think we need to bring anybody in on it. Shout out to Urban Eagle and Barry Little, man. We kind of light tonight on the super chats, but that's all right, man. I appreciate that. All my folks over there on the Blizzard King channel, man, y'all hit the #1 button. All my people over here on the main channel, y'all hit the A button, all right? A1, that's what I want you guys to hit. If you're on my main channel, type A. If you're on the Blizzard King channel, type 1. And other than that, man, look, like I said, you're taking the whole point of this broadcast, taking your destiny into your hands. All right. Taking your destiny into your hands, brother. It's enough with the excuses. Our ancestors had it way worse than we did. All right. And at this point, any black person who thinks that black folks' well-being is dependent on what white folks give us or what they allow us to do, they're an impediment to black progress, and you need to stop listening to them. If those same people have been telling you about Black Wall Street and they haven't told you about the fact that they rebuilt Black Wall Street better than ever within 20 years, it was better than ever within 20 years after it was initially destroyed in 1921, that means they're disingenuous. That's what that means. Unfortunately, you took them at face value. I didn't. I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to hold back to you, because it serves me no interest to have a group of black folk, especially black men, who think that they're supposed to be subservient. They turn you into beggars. That's not what I want. Those aren't the examples of men that I want my sons to be around when they come of age. I'm raising my sons to be builders. I'm raising my sons to be warriors. I'm raising my sons to be victors, not victims. And that's what I expect from you all. When I'm long gone and on with the ancestors, I want to know that my legacy is safe with my sons as builders, and that's being reinforced by other builders. That's what I want. The other note is this, and I said this real seriously, and I saved it towards the end. We are better together. I know there's been a lot of online back and forth between Black folks from America and Black folks from the continent and everywhere else. That's cool. Let's work those issues. Consider that a negotiation. But at the end of the day, that's all we have is us. And for the most part, Black American, my Black American, foundational Black American brothers and sisters, what you got to understand is our Black brothers in Africa feel the same way about us as we feel about them. That's both good and bad. But the bottom line is we need each other, and we need to see past those differences. If it don't bleed, if it ain't broken, we can get over it. Let's get together, let's come together, and let's build a better world for our people so that we can all come together as an African people and be respected at the table of humanity by all the other racial groups. Let's be the champions. Let's be the trendsetters. Let's demonstrate class and dignity and uprightness. We are always quick to claim the mantle as the mother and father of all these civilizations. Well, let's act like the adults on this planet. Let's be what the dignified would be. Let's be the peace bringers, the peacekeepers, the peacemakers. Let's be the true mothers and fathers of everybody by being an example of humanity and morality and unity. And let's not let anybody come between us. Let's make our own money. Let's not make the money make us. They were able to divide us because they let the money make us. They gave you the money and it made you who you are. Well, I'm better than the rest of these Negroes. I got this white man's gold. So I'm going to trade these Black folk in. Send them on a ship and send them to another place. I don't know where they at. We've learned those lessons. The only thing that works is unity. Let's get together and be entrepreneurs. Let's get together and create some great art. Let's master the system of politics. Let's educate ourselves. Let's invest in our children. Any woman that can't get behind your leadership, she got to go. Let me say that again. All you lovelies out there, all you lovely ladies saying out there, you men need to lead. Yeah, bitch, and you need to sit down. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry, I've been trying not to talk, baby. But yeah, men need to lead. And you ladies need to step aside or be pushed aside. You had the helm for 40 or 50 years and you failed miserably. So it's time for you to step aside or be pushed aside. You know that elbow that Tyson Fury gave Francis Ngannou last night? Yeah, that's what you're going to get. Step aside. You had your chance, boo. You didn't do it right. Now it's time for you to step aside. It's going to be lights out. We can learn a lot from my Nigerian brothers about putting these women in their place, okay? Hey. Go sit down somewhere, don't talk to me, okay? That's what you need to learn from y'all. That's the cultural exchange I want. I want to go over there and learn something from somebody's Nigerian daddy or granddaddy, okay? These kids think that I'm hard on them. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to daddy's school somewhere in Lagos. You understand what I'm talking about? That's what I'm going to do. Hey, hello, how are you today? Welcome, class. Come on in. My name is, they call me William, and then you got a long name you can't say with a lot of alphabet. Hello, come on, I am William. I am the designated Nigerian father today, okay? It is okay to threaten your children, no problem with this. Oh yeah, I'm going to learn a lot. A lot of you brothers, you want to be good dads? All you new dads, y'all coming on here trying to get pointers from me, you need to go to Africa. Well, that's what we need. We teach them English and we interact with them and they teach us father skills. Everybody needs a Nigerian daddy in their life. That's what we need. Shut the fuck up, right? Ain't that what they say? Shut the fuck up one-on-one. Hell yeah. Real talk. The truth is, it was going down to the Dominican Republic when I learned what a man is supposed to be treated like and how. That's why you hear my lady in there cooking and cleaning while I'm working, because I held her to the cultural expectations of her cultural group. But I hold myself to the expectations of her cultural group. Protection, providing. I ain't even seen her have no money. I don't think she paid for nothing. But that's okay. That's the bargain. In exchange for cooperation, submission, she get provision and protection. Perfect. Works out. But a lot of you brothers don't realize that's okay. If we could drop 10,000 Black American men in Nigeria for cultural re-education on how to be patriarchal fathers of a Black house, we change the whole America. Everything we could come back. And you imagine us getting off the plane in Atlanta and Compton and Detroit. Shut the fuck up. All the kids meet us shut the fuck up. Go in there and make some couscous. Oh, you can learn a lot. You go over there and get your manhood back in Africa. For real. And put all these broads in their place. I don't like them. You've been different since you came back from your little trip in Africa. Your little boys trip. Yeah. They'd be like, Ike Turner was a Cub Scout compared to some of these Nigerian daddies. Lord have mercy. But anyway, we've had a serious conversation, man. Y'all take the opportunity to digest this. Big shout out to everybody who contributed to the Cash App, the Super Chat. I'm going to leave the Cash App up for the replay, folks. All my truck drivers, man, I hope y'all enjoy this, man. I hope you learned something, man. I hope you learned something. I put my heart, time, and energy into this, man. I've really been waiting to do this one. And I just thank you. I'm humbly appreciative of the time you all have spent with me to get 400, 500, 600 people in here every night. That's like filling up a room every night with 600 people. And if the Most High thinks that, he wants to bless me with this message that can draw all these people in here, well, it's just a blessing to me to be the messenger. But nevertheless, man, I want to thank everybody. God bless you all. I appreciate y'all. Big shout out to Big Bass Big Bass. That's my man, Big Bass Life, who does the music, man. He's a cool cat. And yeah, man, I appreciate. Shout out to everybody who came through. Big shout out to everybody who contributed. Again, the Super Chat was light. I don't know what to say, man, but it's all right. Big shout out to everybody who contributed to the Cash App. Other than that, man, y'all be cool. God bless y'all. I guess at some point I'll enable the Super Chat on the main page. I'll try an experiment, but we'll see. I'll think about it a little bit. We'll see if it works out. But other than that, man, it's Uncle D. I love you guys. God bless y'all. Shout out to our African brothers. Shout out to Francis Anangu and Ghana. You the real champion, brother. You the real MVP. You showed out. You showed up and showed out for the whole world, man. That's good for all Black folks to see around the world. That's definitely motivational. But other than that, man, it's Uncle D. I love you guys. I'm out.